What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Chinnist. These are my pickups from April 17th, Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. I have a total of 25 with 23 different titles. Threw up my Midtown order and left-hand side as well. Went ahead and waited for Friday, my day off, to go ahead and post. Happy Easter, everyone. Starting off the DC side, Batman number 69. This is just a cover graph for me by Mattina. Man, love Mattina, one of my most favorite cover artists out there right now. Naomi number 4. Dude, this title is freaking on fire, dude. No one has this on the shelf anywhere at this point in time. So, you know, I was all over the artwork and the storyline right from number 1. And I thought it was pretty intriguing in my opinion. But Bendis did a great job marketing this character. So you find out, and you know, these are spoilers from right from the very beginning. If you want to read this, then go ahead and fast forward. But you do find out the background of Naomi's parents here in issue number 4. She has a little bit of revelation. You know, she expected a little bit more of a Superman type of origin story for herself. Come to find out it's not that way. Her father, part of the Rand Thanagar War back in the day, sent to Earth to spy on another Thanagar. And it seemed like both, you know, war veterans went to a more peaceful side. And you do find out, you know, where she comes from, and you know, you still do not know who her real parents are. So yep, very intriguing, and I'll just leave it right here. But man, the storyline, in my opinion, very intriguing. Not what I thought in any way. So you know, I love that I was not able to predict where this was going to go. So yep, really enjoy this one. If you could find this one, do so. Read through it. Great storyline. Justice League number 22. Love Justice League. So I actually missed out on issue number 21. For some reason, my LCS didn't get it, so I need to go read that. But went ahead and read through this one, try to figure out where we were on this. But yep, love Mixoplex being, I guess he's going to be fighting Batmite here in the future. But yep, that should be pretty interesting. But this one really focuses more on Perpetua. So her children start to quiz the logic and what Perpetua's true motives are here, and what her actual her true meaning of existence here in this realm. So they find out, or you may find out, that she actually created the multiverse, but apparently her job after she leaves the multiverse was to go create other multiverse. But for some reason she stayed here, and she's trying to groom her multiverse to try to end up the way that she wants it to be. So very, very good storyline in my opinion, man. Very intriguing, but yeah, a lot more about Perpetua. Justice League number 22. Damage number 16. So this is the final issue of Damage. They went ahead and killed off this the title. But the character, however, very good, you know. So he always had an issue of going back and forth, you know, similar to some issues with the Hulk. He's able to talk to Damage as, I think his name is Clay, but he's able to talk to Damage in his mind. And here you find they actually have balance. You know, they understand how to live with each other after being on Monster Island here for a couple of days, I guess, maybe a week. And you find out that he actually is not trapped on Monster Island. He actually leaves at the very end to, you know, join other titles going forward. So, you know, a little bit more of a superhero now. You know, he's not more of a threat to the world or to Justice League. So I think he's going to be kind of mixed into future super teams in the future here. So, yep, Damage, issue number 16. I really did enjoy this character. Teen Titans number 29. This is part 3 of the Terminus Agenda. Pretty good story arc right now, in my opinion. You have Robin, Damian Wayne, who's kind of, he's held a lot of his main villains captive down below their main Teen Titan headquarters, and it's come out to Wally West, and other things are getting exposed. So it's starting to kind of rip the team apart somewhat, and a couple other reveals, more with Crush and Jin. So you find out, you know, Crush may have feelings for Jin, and I'll kind of leave it here and let you all read to see what happens between the two. But yeah, pretty intriguing. And of course, Crush feels that Jin likes Damian Wayne, Robin. So pretty good little twist there, a little love triangle kind of going on there, along with the Terminus Deathstroke side of things. So yep, pretty good title. Enjoy that storyline. Avengers number 10. This is a very final issue for the No Road Home title here. Pretty good in my opinion overall. You know, versus No Surrender, I did enjoy No Surrender a little bit more overall, but this was very enjoyable. You know, it was a lot more condensed, maybe half the issues overall, but man, really enjoyed this one. You know, try to go pick this one up and trade if you were not following on issue to issue. So this one really follows Vision, and it's really Vision who is really going to go against Nyx here, you know, going forward. And I don't want to give away the battle or, you know, what kind of happens going forward, but I thought it was a pretty good storyline overall. If you enjoy that last title, No Surrender, I feel you would enjoy this one, No Road Home. So yep, try to go find it, go pick it up. Guardians of the Galaxy number 4. Love Donny Cates, man, love his writing. So this one here, you have everyone chasing Gamora, because Thanos said in his, I guess his last will and testament, so to speak, that his mind was going to be dumped into another body. And they all assume that it's someone that he's been grooming the entire time. So Gamora becomes the obvious, you know, answer to that question of who it may be. So everyone's trying to actually kill Gamora before Thanos, you know, downloads his mind into her. So pretty good storyline overall. They find Gamora, you find out what she's been doing or trying to, you know, go after Rocket Raccoon, pretty funny stuff. But, you know, I really enjoy Groot. You know, his new character here was able to actually talk and have some dialogue, you know, with these main characters that we've known for a while. You know, very good character change in my opinion. You know, I don't think everyone's, you know, is down with that change for Groot, but, you know, I really enjoy that character change just because he could interact now. But, yep, great action here so far. Love Donny Cates, Guardians of the Galaxy number 4. Uncanny X-Men number 16. Love the X-Men. You know, I started out in comics with Uncanny X-Men, straight up. Wolverine was my favorite. So this one here, you have Cyclops and Wolverine going around, kind of collecting some of the X-Men that are left on Earth, trying to form a new X-Men and a new image. And you have here Cyclops, you know, looking to try to step down. You know, he does not, you know, at this point in time, maybe feel he's the best leader at this point in time, or maybe the group doesn't need a leader. So a little bit more of a political dynamics there, but pretty cool outcome. I won't tell you what happens in the end, but I feel a pretty cool outcome. Then you get into a pretty good battle with the Brotherhood of Evil. Man, always love them. You know, very iconic fights between X-Men and the Brotherhood of Evil. Magneto, man, love that guy. A little bit of a twist. I won't tell you what's going on, but man, love the X-Men. Check it out. The action has, man, gotten back to it again. Uncanny X-Men number 16. Wolverine Infinity Watch number 3. So this one here, just because of all the other storylines that are kind of going on, you know, it's a little bit confusing here. So this is just like a, you know, like a separate tangent storyline. If you look at it that way, man, pretty cool overall. You know, I feel the best aspect that this brings is the dialogue, the banter between Loki and Wolverine, man. I think that stuff is just hilarious, dude. They're such smart asses to each other, man. They're so sarcastic to each other. I just love that stuff, dude. So, yep. Enjoy it overall, but man, kind of confusing with all the other storylines kind of going on right now. So yeah, I'll leave it there, but Wolverine Infinity Watch number 3. Star Wars Age of a Rebellion. So this was pretty cool. You know, y'all obviously know that I love Star Wars. So this one comes with 3 different storylines. 2 of the storylines a lot better than the other, in my opinion, but if you are, the first one is the IG-88 type of storyline. If you are an IG-88 who is a bounty hunter, shown the first time in Empire, I believe. But yeah, if you're an IG-88 fan, man, pick this one up. Very good stuff, man. You know, pretty good character development here. And kind of fast forward to the next one, which focuses on Yoda. He's on Dagobah, and this is kind of like a little like spirit quest, you could say, for himself. You know, he's kind of talking about his failure, you know, against the Emperor. You know, his battle against the Emperor did not go so well, and because of that, you know, Jedi are no more. So he kind of takes a lot of blame himself, and he looks, you know, towards the future. And you find out this is actually right before Luke, you know, comes to visit Yoda for the very first time. Then you get into this little final issue here that involves Biggs and Porkins. And everyone remembers how Porkins kind of died, crashed into the Death Star, and it's very iconic, and I thought it was, you know, kind of funny. But you know, this one I could have done without, you know, a little bit more of a humorous type based, and you know, not for most, not for me, but okay overall, but yep, the first two storylines, man, pretty good. So yep, Age of Rebellion special number 1. All right, getting into the War of Realms. So this is Thor issue number 12. So if you recall that last War of the Realms issue number 1, at the very end, Loki was actually eaten by his father. So you see him like, you know, totally killed, and it's not like a Jonah whale type situation where he's swallowed whole. Man, he's like bitten into half and like, you know, eaten slowly. So yeah, he was definitely dead, you know, very surprising. And this is like a little, you know, you think he's in purgatory, maybe like hell or something of that nature. But what you find out was somehow he went back into the future and he runs into Malekith. When Malekith was just a very young boy, a young slave boy after a war. Come to find out, Loki may have actually created Malekith overall, which actually, you know, kicked off the War of the Realms. So pretty cool storyline overall. You know, I love time travel, and pretty good storytelling, you know, by Jason Aaron, in my opinion. So yeah, Thor number 12. This is one of those one-off type of storylines that they try to, you know, get a little bit with the overall War of the Realms going on. I was going to skip this one. One of the other readers at the one of my LCS had actually already read this one somehow, I guess online or something. He said it was pretty good. He liked the Daredevil story is what he enjoyed. I'm not really a Daredevil fan, so this one had 4 overall, but I would say the first 2 pages of the very first Daredevil storyline, man, these first 2 pages kind of did it for me, man. I thought this was very, you know, very humorous overall. And at first I thought it was the very first meeting of Daredevil and Thor, but apparently they've met before. Daredevil kind of lets Thor know that. And, you know, Daredevil is extremely sarcastic here. And I guess I've never really seen him that way. And I thought it was just hilarious, dude. I laughed throughout these entire first 2 pages, and I felt this entire comic was worth it for those 2 pages right there, in my opinion. But yeah, so getting into it, Daredevil, the first storyline, you know, he went off to, you have to follow the other storyline because he actually is possessed right now, or, you know, he went to Asgard. He has, what is the guy's name? The guy who watches over the bridge, but I think he kind of merged with him. Anyways, the second storyline, a little bit not as good as the first, in my opinion. A little bit more about the friends of Thor, which I never really was not too much of a fan of. The very last story was one about Howard the Duck. So this was kind of okay, a little bit funny. If you're into Howard the Duck, try to pick this one up. But overall, you know, if you want other storylines, you know, in addition to the War of the Realms main storyline, pick it up. But this is not essential in any real way to the main storyline, in my opinion. So yep, skippable if you don't want to read it. War of the Realms number 2, the actual storyline itself. So to love number 1, I loved how number 1 got right into the action. You know, there was no slow story building whatsoever. It was just bam, here we go, full on war. So here you see our various heroes who are all over New York, Manhattan, trying to save the civilians while they're fighting all the frost giants in the streets of Manhattan. So very cool. You have a lot of magic going on in the background as well on both sides. You have evil magic and good magic going on. Odin comes back with the Valkyries. Very awesome, epic battle, man. Very good fight here. So, you know, I think I've heard some people say it's not that good in their opinion, but man, I really do enjoy the War of the Realms. I'm not really even a Thor fan, and I do enjoy War of the Realms. So, you know, I guess everyone has their own opinion. I'm sorry, I forgot to show off. This was Julian Totino. This was the incentive variant for War of the Realms number 2, or one of the incentive variants. Able to pick this one up for cover price. I think I saw it on Midtown for, I think, $50 on Midtown. So yep, happy to pick this one up. Star Wars TIE Fighter. This is issue number 1. This is cover A, and was able to pick up cover, I think this is cover C, but this was a low incentive variant ratio. I think maybe like 1 to 7. It was listed for $7 on Midtown. Had a little bit of a non-color breaking tick, so I went ahead and picked it up anyways. So overall, this TIE Fighter is actually 2 storylines, 2 different stories combined into this one comic. The first storyline a little bit better than the first, in my opinion, a little bit more action-packed. But this one kind of follows, this was right after the Hoth War, I believe. Yeah, so Empire just happened. You know, Empire Strikes Back just happened. So the Empire's, you know, kind of on top right now. The rebellion has been, you know, pushed away. So they were kind of like their height right now against the rebellion, and this is kind of their war from their perspective, which, you know, I always enjoy, just because we always saw it from the rebel side, right? So it builds up a couple characters here. It follows about like 4 or 5 main characters, and there are 2 characters that have a love interest. So, you know, a little bit different dynamic here, but pretty good overall. So I will be continuing this one. You know, I thought it was pretty intriguing. Second storyline was not as good as the first, but we'll see where that goes. But good enough just for the first storyline, in my opinion. So, yep, TIE Fighter #1. Moving on to Image. So this is Little Bird #2. I picked up #1. You know, I was not really that much of a fan, and you know, I know majority of the comic book community, man, everyone loved it, man. But man, so I was not going to pick up #2. I went ahead and did so just to give it another shot. I'm still of the same opinion, you know, sorry guys, but you know, intriguing. I was not a fan of the art. I know everyone loves the art, everyone loves the coloring of it, but I don't know, I think this one's just not for me. Dystopian future, you find out that the war happened with this guy who, I guess he was indestructible, and they showed a little shot of him. Let me find, there we go. And I guess this war, he went against anyone who believed in Christianity. So this is like a holy war, but it's like one guy who basically like killed everyone. So the back war sounded pretty cool as they go forward into the storyline here of what happened to America going forward. So, you know, overall storyline's okay, but I mean, I just could not get into the characters overall. So yeah, just not for me. Little Bird #2. Middlewest, I think this is issue #6. So a storyline that I do enjoy. So you find our main character, he's been, you know, whisked away to this other land, and what is it called? Overland. So he's learning to try to live with his new community, like his new family, so to speak, kind of like a little circus world. You know, he's picking up chores, and he's kind of learning how to live there. Pretty good, because I guess he's always had social issues. Along the way, one of the elders has, I guess, psychic abilities, and she's trying to get into his mind to try to, you know, help him face his fears and things of that nature. And you find out a little bit more about his back history, which is pretty cool, and it starts to unlock some of his fears, which starts to unlock that little wind demon that we've seen before. So, yep, enjoy the storyline, you know, enjoy the symbolism that's here. Middlewest #6. Assassination Nation #2. So Kyle Starks, I enjoy that the writer that some of the, I think I've read about 3 different titles from him. I enjoy his humor that he brings to the storylines so far. And other things I read here, the humor is not as pronounced as the other titles, and you know, I think just due to that, I was looking for humor, and this just did not do it for me. The action itself was not there, so you have, I think it was 20 of the top, you know, global assassins who are all gathered together. A murder happens, or assassination happens, and they're trying to figure out who did it. But overall, you know, after reading a title like Die, 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 this is like a real, like, you know, reduced family version of that. So, man, just not for me. I will not be picking up issue #3 on, to tell you the truth. Gideon Falls #12. Love horror, man. Jeff Lemire, that he has done a great job on this little horror storyline that he has going here. So you go back in time and you find out a little bit more about the Black Barn, and one of the very first, I guess, disciples of the Black Barn, I guess you could say, and what he has done to some of the people at Gideon Falls. And Gideon Falls has been like a western town, you know, a frontier town since 1800s all the way to now. So, yep. So you find out that the Black Barn is somewhat of like a time portal. It could kind of go anywhere. And I guess it's, you know, it's evil that's all connected, I guess you could say. But yeah, love the storyline overall. Very intriguing. Love the... love how you find the evolution of the Black Barn here in this one issue. But yep, Gideon Falls #12. Port of Earth #9. They took a little hiatus. They took a little time to come back, but man, love that storyline. This was been optioned for something, I don't know, but man, pretty cool storyline. I could, you know, really see this on TV, or I think a TV series, you know, this is more applicable for that. But it kind of goes to the history of from issue #1 on to where, you know, the port was created from a technology exchange for the aliens to give us the ability to change water into energy. And along the way, the port did not have the right security, so aliens started getting released into Earth, started to kill other Earthlings. It was our job to do our own security. We did not do that well, so the aliens put their own security on Earth for us. So, over time, you see the aliens kind of get more and more grasp on Earth. And, at first this was just supposed to be like a little business, transaction, but it's, becoming more than that. So along the way, you find out that like an alien virus has broken out on Earth. So, now we get into like a cool, like a little zombie type of storyline here. So, yep, pretty cool storyline overall. I wish the coloring was not as muted. That's my only, negative I have on this entire issue here, but, or entire series here. But yep, enjoyed overall. Port of Earth number 9. Picked up one from Aftershock, Mary Shelley, Monster Hunter. So overall, this was not what I had envisioned, to tell you the truth. The artwork was okay for the storyline that it's trying to tell itself, but man, I'm not really a fan. So there's a lot of different twists in here, and you find out, she runs into not really, Frankenstein, and I assumed that she was going to be out there like killing monsters, but she runs into the Dr. Frankenstein, which is, a female in this case again. So, overall, this is not what I expected. I was expecting a lot more monsters, a lot more action, not what I expected. So I will not be picking up number 2 on, to tell you the truth. But yeah, if for you, great, not for me. So yeah, Mary Shelley, Monster Hunter number 1. Black Badge by Boom Comics now, issue number 9. Another title that I love, man, really issue to issue. You have, basically Boy Scouts of America, but they're actually the elite group who actually works for the government. They do a lot of covert ops. You find out that there's female teams as well. So, it's a lot of Jason Bourne type of missions now at this point in time. Love it, dude. Absolutely love it. I think the artwork is great. I shy away from a lot of watercoloring, but man, I feel this one like knocks it out of the park in my opinion. I think it's the hard ink lines that, mixed together with the watercoloring is what I like about this one title, or the artwork on this title. So yeah, Black Badge by Boom Comics, issue number 9. Bloodborne, this is issue number 11 by Titan Comics. This is one that I'm always on the fence. I kind of always want to drop it, but in every issue kind of like gets me a little bit more intrigued. This one here, a little bit different. There is actually no dialogue in this entire issue. This issue is nothing but imagery and symbolism, which I think is pretty cool, man. It's very rare to run into comics like this nowadays. But yeah, man, I thought this was kind of special. So yep, I was going to kind of leave it on that one. If you enjoy it, try to go pick it up. But a little bit of horror that goes along with this video game based title. But I enjoy it overall. But I've been looking to drop it here and there. But man, I really enjoy this one issue. Last up for y'all, one from Valiant, Manowar. So Manowar, he has left Earth. He's been a farmer. He got back into a war. He worked up the ranks. He became emperor of another planet, and now he's come back to Earth. And he's basically like a hero for Earth again, like Superman, for Earth. So you run into these 3 robots, and you find out those previous 3 robots that were killed by the bounty hunters who was actually after Manowar. They killed those other robots, and those other robots were actually kids, or like teenagers who were like out like having fun. So these other robots came in, kind of setting up like another story arc. But yeah, pretty good action overall, and it's cool to see him just as a regular superhero again. So yep, Manowar, issue number 26. Really enjoy this title. Guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Hope y'all have a great Easter. See y'all next week.